Cool. Adam Gilbert, what's up, buddy?
Do I need this on?
You don't need to. No, all good, dude.
Perfect.
All
Thank
good.
you.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? We just get right into it, bro. Adam Gilbert, hilarious comedian.
You're too nice. How you doing, man?
I'm great, bro. So I ran into you randomly on the street. You were about to walk into Gotham, right?
Oh, and I ate the biggest dick in the world.
Oh, that night you did?
Oh, you know it, baby. The Gotham bomb. No bomb hits like a Gotham bomb.
What were you just trying new stuff?
No.
That's the best. So it was a crowd then, like obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, bro,
it's their fault.
It's annoying when that happens too. And I feel like that happens more so in New York than any other place because people in New York were spoiled for comedy, or at least the audience is spoiled. You know what I mean?
That must be it. And maybe I just suck. I don't know.
No, but I mean, I'm sure you've done the same set and killed other times too.
Yeah, maybe.
So I just got back from Chicago. I opened and hosted my buddy Julio Gallerati's show. He crushed it.
The Den, is that?
Oh yeah, there you go, dude. We're matching.
Yeah,
too. We're matching.
baby.
You've been here before?
Oh, the Den Theater is such a cool theater. You know, Sam Morrill shot his special there.
Yeah, so I saw that he is he's doing like 6 shows in June. But anyway, so the reason why I brought it up is because like when you are at a comedy show where everybody expects like you bringing what they are coming to the jokes, or you know what I mean, like people are there for Julio. So I just felt like as soon as I came out, like they were ready to laugh, ready to go. And that's like ideally, you get to a point in comedy where like people are coming to see you. So like there's really is no bombing, like the thing is in New York, like we get so used to is like the showcase shows where like we'll go up and people might not know us for that particular time. So like, all right, Adam, like let's see what you got. As opposed to like, your boy Sam Morrill doing 6 shows at the Den. Just killing. So when did you go to Chicago?
I mean, I lived there for 4 years before I moved here.
Oh, damn. What'd you think of it?
Oh, it's my favorite city. I love Chicago
More than New York?
I mean, I've only been here a few months.
Damn. Okay, so we might have to edit it out that he doesn't like New York as much as Chicago. How long have you been here?
New York's great. It's just Chicago was like, I was there for 4 years. It feels like that's where I figured out a little bit more of stand-up and everything. And
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you grow up?
Indiana.
Okay, so you went to Chicago like a little bit, like back and forth. Is that like right on the border?
Yeah. No, I mean, I was over on the east side of Indiana. So I just did I started comedy when I was like 19. So I just like drove for like 5 years to do mics and stuff.
To do mics, really?
Oh, yeah. To do like a mic in Detroit, a mic in Toledo, a mic in Indianapolis. And then I'd drive back that night and do college.
How far was that drive, though, to do mics?
I mean, I would do like 3 hours each way sometimes. Yeah.
Damn, just for one mic, bro?
Oh, yeah. When I was that age, oh, God, yeah.
For those of you listening and watching, you should know what a mic is by now with the amount of times comedians have been on this podcast. But a mic basically is anyone, for the most part, can go and do 5 to 7 minutes. So for you to travel that far to do a mic, man, you must have really freaking wanted it. And now you're finally here in New York. So what was the transition like from Indiana? I guess we'll start kind of from the beginning, from Indiana to doing shows in Chicago and then coming to New York.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think just anywhere you go that's like bigger and there's just way more competition and you realize you ain't shit and it's really good for you to get that humility,
Were you like the class clown in high school?
No, not at all. So it was just a thing I just tried when it came to Indiana, and then I got addicted to it.
And where'd you go to college?
Purdue, Fort Wayne. And it took me a long time to graduate. I have no problem admitting that. I graduated college when I was 24.
That's hilarious. So like I was about to be in college for like, what was it? I guess it was probably like an extra semester after senior year if I didn't pass like my math class. And my parents paid for my college. Thankfully, they were like, "You're paying for the next semester if you end up staying."
I got really lucky too, and my dad paid for mine.
Yeah,
so
dude,
it's very we're lucky guys.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So
God.
what happened after you graduated though? What did that look like?
After I graduated, I moved to Ohio. My girlfriend at the time was living there, and we spent like 3 months in Cleveland. And then moved to Chicago.
What was the thought process behind moving to Chicago? That was it just because your girl's job?
No, it was where I wanted to be, regardless. And she was a teacher, so it made it a lot easier for us to both move there.
What was in Ohio, though, that you wanted to be there for?
She lived there.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted to be with her for a little bit. And then before I moved to Chicago, it was a nice little, like, first time out of the home state.
Right.
For a few months. And then Chicago was, I mean, really moving there, you know, at 24, like, those first few months were just as crazy and stressful as my first few months here. So, like, it took me a while to really, like, love Chicago, the same way that I'm sure I'm going to love New York.
Absolutely.
But,
Well,
yeah, those first few months.
What time of the year did you move to Chicago?
About the same time as I moved here. I moved to Chicago in, like, July.
Oh,
So
that seems like a great time to move to Chicago.
Yeah,
probably.
it was so sick, but I had, like, you know, just kind of my savings. I didn't really have any credit or anything like that. Didn't have a job, so it was just kind of stressful at that young age.
Yeah, how'd you bounce around to comedy shows, though, and get comfortable in Chicago?
Just had to get used to the train and the bus and all that, just like here, yeah.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, and then mics, you start over no matter where you move, right?
Totally. How long were you in Chicago for?
4 years.
What kind of comedy brought you to Chicago where you were like, all right, I want to start doing stand-up? Did you see like a lot of on TV comedy? Were you like, all right, Broadway performing shows, or what in particular?
I mean, I guess I just would travel to Chicago because there would be occasional comedians who would come to Fort Wayne, where I'm from, and they would do shows, and I thought, God, they're so good. And then, you know, I'd run into them on the road in Detroit or Indianapolis, you know, things like that. So then I would visit Chicago from when I was like 22, 23. And I mean, just the quality was just, there's no comparison. You had people who were like starting out in Chicago, like way before they left. Like, you know, yeah, I think when I got there, like when I was just visiting for shows, I would see people like Jeff Asmus just starting out in Chicago, or Sarah Squirm way before SNL, or Meg Stalter, like just these absolute just comedy monsters. And I just wanted to be like, I just wanted to be one of them, you know?
What was it like starting in Indiana, though?
Pretty rudderless. I don't really feel like I gained as much from those like road mics, road shows, as I did being in a city and like growing and having that competition. But I do feel like I gained a lot of like, you know, humility maybe.
Like chutzpah, maybe?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. A lot of gratitude, maybe.
I think also, just by the way you're describing it, and you tell me if I'm wrong, just going and traveling so far for something that to other people might not think is as meaningful as like a 5 to 7 minute spot. And now, you know, being in Chicago, I'm sure you were able to do multiple spots a week. And then now being in the city, some nights you're doing 2 or 3 sets a night. So it really makes you appreciate how much time you're probably getting in the city too, right?
I love doing a couple spots in a night. That's been really nice.
Absolutely,
I'm trying
bro.
to do that more.
Dude, I know. And when we get January dates, we're going to get this guy on the Ted Jones Comedy Show. He's freaking hilarious. Yeah, dude. It'll be amazing.
That's so nice.
Of course, dude. So, like, coming to New York, though, what's been the biggest culture shock, maybe from Indiana or Chicago? What's super different about New York?
Oh, man. I don't really know, dude. I think just maybe my idea of what age is. Like,
right, man. You never know how old anybody is.
Yeah.
How old do you think I am? Looking at me.
I think if I was in Indiana, I would
bro.
guess you were like...
Wait, why is it different?
I don't know.
Okay, well, give me Indiana age and then New York age.
I'm imagining you're about 33.
That's Indiana age?
No, just kind of age.
All right, just turned 31.
31.
But I feel like you would have given me 30. You would have just assumed that people are a little bit older in New York, so you gave me a couple extra years.
I think
so
that might
appreciate
be
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you really never know how old anyone is. Like, for example, we were talking about going to Jared Schwartz's party later tonight, his birthday. Kid's like, what, 26 years old. So I would have never thought that. I would have thought he was maybe around my age, or maybe I was around his age. But comedy is just a game, which obviously you know is that like every year you're in it, you just get better and better. So like by
you
year,
hope so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you stick with it, long enough, I've seen that with many of people.
Yeah.
You know, by year 5, 6, 7, you really start getting the wheels cranking, and then by year 10, you know, you're hopefully a household name, something like that.
I mean, that would certainly be nice, but I don't know about. I think it takes way different time for everybody. I've been doing it 9 years, and I just got to New York, so
yeah,
it's all relative, man. It's all who knows?
What's been the best part about day-to-day lifestyle though in New York? Stuff that you enjoy.
I mean, yeah, it's just a beautiful place. I always see something new.
Let me close this window over here. They're doing the trash. Go ahead, keep talking.
Definitely the trash.
Entertain them, bro.
Hi, hello, how are you? I think, yeah, I mean, just the variety on display of everything, like different restaurants, different environments, different surroundings, all the different boroughs, like genuinely feel like different cities.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
Did you have friends that were like pulling your leg to come here? You kind of just come here by yourself. You're like,
Max.
you need to go. Max Fine, who was sitting on the Ted Jones World couch. I forget which episode, but he was here, man. Shout out Max Fine. Great dude.
Yeah,
Great dude.
yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. But yeah, he was like, you got to come here. You got to come here. And the room opened up and it just coincided with me getting Just for Laughs. And I was like, all right, I just got to do this. Yeah.
Love that, bro. And where are you living now? Brooklyn?
Yeah, Crown Heights.
Brooklyn's great, man. You guys pretty close to the subway?
Yeah, we got really lucky. It's right next to the subway.
And you realize that you need that like every single waking moment of the day, that subway, man.
Yeah, man. It really is just everywhere. It was, just 2 trains here, but it definitely could have been a couple.
Yeah, dude. I started riding like the e-city bike recently, and I realized that it's like 70% of a taxi, like the further you go, if you go past a mile. So I'm just probably going to stick to the subway and walking.
Is the city bike, it's pricey?
Yeah, dude, I had no idea that it was pricey, but these new white ones, maybe it's like it has more electric power than the other electric bikes, but these new white ones, dude, like I went 1.5 miles and it cost $8.74. As opposed to like if I went 1.5 miles in a cab, it would have been like $12 or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, how do you like the e-bike?
It's cool, dude. I mean, I ran it. I did it for the first time with my buddy like last week.
Cool.
And he was like, all right, we got to go across town. We went across town and I was like, this is just a whole nother, a whole nother burst of dopamine that I wouldn't have expected to get.
Yeah.
And then, smoking weed and then taking the e-bike. Maybe I shouldn't have advertised doing that. But like, obviously I had smoked weed earlier.
It's incredibly legal in New York City. There's
dude.
No reason to worry
Isn't
about
that insane? Also, well, as soon as
that's been a nice and just insane thing is like, yeah, you can just get like weed anywhere. There's
dope.
In anywhere else, Chicago, anywhere, it's like a dispensary.
Yeah, okay.
Here, you just kind of go to a place. Nobody knows the laws.
So like Chicago, I landed, and luckily, like on West Ohio Avenue, there was a dispensary. So I went right to the dispensary, like around the corner from the hotel that I was staying at. Walked in, they take your ID. They have like a few security guards there. Yeah. In New York, man, it's like the wild, wild west. They'll have some places like that where they have the security guard. They'll take your ID, and they'll have a whole process. They'll have you go out the exit door instead of the entry door. But like there are places in New York where it's just like you go to the local deli and they'll have pre-rolls, they'll have baby Jeters, stuff like that. They'll have everything that you can get in other places in the country.
Yeah, they have mushroom chocolates there.
Dude, I know the polka dot ones. You try it? Oh
God, I tried one and I haven't done mushrooms since. I tried it, a little nibble of it, and I was like, this is just military grade mushroom.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because like I've had that chocolate before, and like it's done some stuff to me where I've gotten really, really like high from it. I guess that's the way. But like I've also done it and like had the same amount and not feel anything. It's so weird.
Yeah, it was like matcha chocolate.
Yeah, maybe it's like I didn't eat on one of the days, or like I had eaten less, something like that. But I was so shocked that like one time that I ate it, I was super high on mushrooms, and then the other time it didn't work. So I think like we're still trying to figure it out, like what actually works. In a place like Chicago or LA, like you can get edibles and like it's reliable. You know exactly like what the dosage in here.
Yeah, I went to like just straight up dispensary to buy weed in LA. In Montreal this year, I went to just a regular dispensary. They don't let you get vapes in Montreal. You're not allowed to get weed vapes. It's totally illegal. But you can buy many joints as you want. There's no weed vapes.
Why do you think that there's no weed
it's
vapes?
It's probably a good thing. That stuff, we don't really know.
And like, yeah, bro. And also like high school kids will be smoking the weed vape. What? Strawberry fucking
I love
tobacco.
the weed vape, but I'm like, this is different than pot. This is a different drug. I don't know. It's a step up.
You think it's like unregulated type, and like you don't really know how much you're inhaling?
I truly have no idea what weed vape is, and it's probably not good that I'm like, oh, I can see weed that's like green and it's like a little flower. I know what I'm putting in my body. But the weed, like, it's like a wax.
Yeah, I think vapes in general, man, we don't know enough about. And like the JUUL getting banned completely, like that's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign, but it's also like, okay, what was in the JUUL? Why is this getting banned? That's spooky. That's for yeah. Tell us.
Let us
Tell
know,
us why
dude.
they got banned. What was in those things?
Let us freaking know.
Are you from New York? Where are you from?
I'm from New York, man. So I moved here when I was 6 weeks old. Both my parents got jobs in the city.
Okay.
Went to lower school, middle school, high school here. Then I went to University of Connecticut. Came back, worked in my dad's company for 5 years.
Whoa, okay.
And then just right after the pandemic, so like, I don't want to even say after the pandemic. Can we even say that? April of, I guess, 2021, I like retired from my dad's company and been doing this podcast, the vlog, comedy shows full time, bro.
Wait,
so
when
I'm
did you start
fully in the mix. I mean, starting stand up probably like 4 or 5 years ago, but then doing it full time like within the last probably 2 years.
Oh, how are you liking it?
I love it, dude. I mean, love every minute of it. Love this podcast, love the vlog. And I was a real big improv guy before I got involved in stand up.
Yeah.
But then once UCB closed down and I was going to be getting a lot less stage time, I was like, I need to do way more stand up.
Did that hit you guys pretty hard when that happened? I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. UCB closing down?
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I think IO closed in Chicago, so I wonder if that was a similar, like,
I think it was just because like they rented out the theater and the classes were super reliable. I mean, they really needed to have a ton of classes just for income and stuff like that. So when I realized that I wasn't going to be performing on the Lloyd team, because I was about to try out for it like once a week.
Wow.
I was like, all right, I need to, figure out how to get more stage time. And I had always been around stand-up comedy. Like some of my best friends had been doing stand-up for years. I just always liked improv more. And then it just completely switched once things started coming back to normal. You familiar with the theater Asylum NYC?
No.
In Chelsea, pretty close to here. So I went there when things were coming back to normal. I was like, look, I can put together a great comedy show. And the theater was at 75% capacity. It has 150 seats. So I was like, all right, we'll put together a show. And then from that point forward, I was like, all right, I could put together comedy shows and just slowly learn as I go.
Yeah.
Like I was the host. I was doing 7 minutes of just crowd work in the beginning, and then it slowly evolved to me having 7 minutes of material, to the 10 minutes of material, the 15, and then so on and so forth.
You think the improv helped you with your stand-up a little bit?
I think so. I think, in general, like when you have for example, like you were talking about Gotham, on a night that you are not comfortable with your material, you're like, all right, fuck it, let's just do improv. Like, who's this guy in the front row with the strongest prescription glasses I've ever seen? Stuff like that, like that will bring you back to reality and then just have you comfortable on stage.
I'm very pro improv. I think that's a weird made up thing, the stand up versus improv feud or whatever. I don't think that's real at all.
No, I think that stand-up comedians they're at least they think that they're the most pure form of comedy, and that's why there's also maybe some beef between stand-ups and TikTok comedians, and then maybe the improv and stuff like that. But I appreciate all forms.
How
of
can you
comedy,
look at
bro.
somebody like John Candy or Chris Farley and say they're not real comedians?
And even like a Jim Carrey, right?
Tina Fey. Well, Jim Carrey was a stand-up.
Yeah, Jim Carrey was a stand-up.
Like, I don't know. I don't think it. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I love Comedy Bang Bang. There's a ton of improv there. I don't really care. I like doing stand-up better. That's really the only.
Did you ever do any improv?
Not really, no, not. I mean, I had fun when I would do it, like with friends. Like we put on a little sketch show in Fort Wayne a very long time ago, me and some friends, and that was really fun. I took a few classes at Second City, and I thought they helped me so much with like writing and understanding comedy better.
What made you first travel so far to go to those open mics? Was there like an initial spark, like you saw something on TV? Or what made you get into open mics when you were living so far away from where open mics were?
Yeah. I mean, when I started doing mics, I guess there were, you could do like one a month and you would just be like, well, I want to work on more. I want to do more stuff. And then there'd be one maybe an hour away. And you'd be like, okay, well, I'm in college. Like, whatever. I don't have any class the next day. So
how did you get there also?
I just drove. I had a car. Yeah, I was really lucky. So I had a car and I would just drive there and do that. Or I would, some friends would drive. I had some friends in Fort Wayne who were starting to do comedy and open mics and stuff. So I'd go with them. Or I would drive. Yeah.
All this of a journey to New York, where now you're getting multiple spots a night, dude. Isn't that crazy to think? No, but I mean, you're getting multiple spots a week, which is like a crazy different part for where you were initially, man.
Yeah. It's just trying to keep pushing ahead. I mean, that's really what I wanted to move here for. I had no desire to be like that, as you were saying, household name. I don't really care about that. I just want to keep getting better than I was yesterday. That's really all it is. And you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be the best, but you want to keep being better than you were yesterday.
Totally, bro. Just keep plugging away, man.
That's all I want to do.
What's been the best part about New York, non-comedy related?
Non-comedy.
You come here and you're like, oh, wow, New York is actually very chill. I didn't know this was here or this is that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you were asking earlier about the biggest culture shock. The time ain't real. Like, I mean, there's no set dinner time. There's no set breakfast time. Starbucks is open till 9 o'clock at night. There's like 11 o'clock. I'll be like, I haven't had dinner yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hate breakfast.
Well, I'll go get dinner now. And like the crazy, like the food is, it's amazing. You'll find some just truly amazing places. I went to Central Park. It's beautiful. Washington. Well, I like Washington Square Park a little better. But I like them both.
A lot of shenanigans going on in
A
Washington
lot
Square
of
Park,
shenanigans.
dude. It's amazing.
I love the Lower East Side. It's so cool. I love, I like walking around Bushwick. It's cool, man. I like
Dude, you're in the mix, man. You get it. Oh, let's hear the Bronx.
The Bronx is cool. It's like, it's architecturally insane. Because it's like, it's a full incline. Have you walked around the Bronx?
Sure, a little bit.
It's so old. So you just walk up and the buildings are like it's a bygone era.
Did you see Yankee Stadium when you were up there?
No, but I bet if I kept walking, I would have seen a guy in a hot air balloon telling me about electricity being a new fad here. It's very old. It's so cool.
Oh, dude. The architecture is quite beautiful, man. I appreciate you appreciating that because I used to work in real estate, dude, so I'm always looking up. I'm always looking at like parapets of building. And then speaking of architecture, I was when I was in Chicago, I was looking up and like, there's so many different types of beautiful buildings there that like you wouldn't expect. It's like a beautiful building, then an old ass building, a beautiful building, old ass building. Where in New York, you kind of have like a theme to the neighborhood. If you
Chicago
notice that, you know what I mean?
Really, really, really good architecture. We could get fucking nerdy and alienate everybody and just talk about architecture.
They might like it.
Go to Chicago, take the architecture tour, take every single one they offer you. It rocks. But it's this is what I like a little better about New York is I'm trying to be diplomatic to you guys. It's you guys.
But bro, you're a resident.
You're a resident, older.
So you're being diplomatic.
New York is older, and I like that. It's a good thing. Like Chicago had that fire, and so everything was kind of rebuilt 190 years ago.
Tell us about it, because I don't even know if I know what you're talking about.
The Chicago fire? That's why it's called the Second City, because they built another city over it? Yeah.
Are you kidding?
There's a Chicago fire. There was like
Pop it up, Wikipedia, Adam. It's right here. We're talking about it.
In the 1800s, the whole city
That's why they have that improv place called Second City.
Yeah, Bro. And they built it on top of... So they rebuilt Chicago completely after that fire.
How big was the fire and what was caused by it?
Oh, it set it all... Like, it's like the 1800s, so like the city was like not recognizable, but nothing before like 20 is still around. You Google it and then you can correct me, but yeah, they had to build the entire city on top of it. So like Chicago is literally a few feet taller than it was. Yeah. So like New York didn't have that. So New York is like way older.
Oh, okay. So like in terms of Second City, it's like the architecture continuously was evolving because they kept having to build throughout years.
I mean, they literally built another city on top of the burned down city.
As opposed to like a Soho, which has just been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah. There's like that's been here for like
there you go, a little history lesson.
I mean, you've been here for a long time. Is there any building here that's been around since like the 1700s?
Yeah.
Chicago, that's not the case.
I'd say townhouses. There were probably some townhouses that have been around for that long, like near the cobblestone roads and stuff like that.
That's so sick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And New York has been bigger for longer, too. Chicago really, like, developed in, like, the 1800s after the World's Fair. So, like, the 1900s and things like that. and New York has been New York forever. So it's older.
What'd you study in college?
Psychology.
Okay.
I
was gonna say if it was
the most
like
useless fucking thing in the world.
I mean, bro, all of us comedians
else.
who went to college, it seems a little bit useless. Actually, maybe not. Maybe connections and just having to deal with something that was difficult for a few years, where I just was super disinterested. I think builds my character a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, but also I was a journalism major, so I had a show at UConn, which is cool. Yeah. And it helps with this. You know, it all seems to be related.
You got to write a thing and do a lead and not bury it.
Yeah.
Don't bury that lead.
Dude, enough.
Don't bury that lead.
Don't bury it. Pop it right in your face.
Hey,
right?
Ted Jones, you don't bury no leads.
And then, dude, that's the thing. Like with TikTok and all these Instagram Reels, shorts and shit, you got to get the lead right there out in front, because then people won't like it. It's like, look, Adam's here on the podcast. Cool. Just go to you, freaking all over the place, so people stay interested.
Yeah,
it's crazy with the attention spans these days, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that your degree, like, you got it, and then the whole art form died.
Oh, journalism?
Yeah.
Dude, I was like the last guy to get a degree where I thought it was like a possibility. So like I was thinking about getting an internship at like NBC Connecticut, like that type of like Ted Jones on the weather. It's fucking cloudy out here. But I'm just happy we're doing independent stuff now, man. Because like people in general, I actually do think communicating with people is a valuable skill to have, and journalism helped me with that.
Maybe it'll, do you think maybe it could come back if Twitter does die? Do you think journalism might actually come back? Because Facebook's kind of dead. Twitter's gonna die, probably.
I don't know if people writing articles and then other people sitting down to read the full articles will ever come back, bro. Our attention spans are too short, man.
They're just dead.
Yeah, like think about it. Like I don't want to sit down and read a news article that's going to take me 20 minutes. I'd just rather watch a minute TikTok clip that'll give me the highlights, summary of those. You know,
that's true.
As bad as that sounds, but I mean, we're creators, man. So we got to be with the times. And writing a blog is dead. Yeah. People want to see the vlog, Adam. They want to see Ted Jones on the street like a maniac. They don't want to see Ted Jones writing about, or they don't want to see you writing about me being a maniac. You know, they'd rather see it visually.
I want them to see the blog. Now I'm pining for a bygone era now.
All right, dude. Well, you write a blog and we'll see how good it is.
I think I might.
Dude,
I think I might do it.
At the end of every paragraph, though, you just have to like capitalize the full word at the end.
Are you paying attention?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
man.
I'm bringing people's attention spans back.
What's your favorite app right now, social-wise?
What's my favorite app?
Social-wise.
Dude, I'm so hooked on the Instagram. It's so fun, and it really is like, it's just, I like to do my stories. Oh, I do the stories, dude. I love listening to a cool song, or I'm eating a cool bowl of noodles or something, or like a good ice cream. I had some good ice cream this summer. Cafe Pana, shout out.
Oh, dude. Okay, dude. By the way, my sister's friend owns that place. Cafe Pana, I think they call it.
Cafe Pana. Tell your sister's friend. Amazing. Well, I really like their gelato with the espresso on top, the affogato.
Oh,
baby.
damn. You must be through the roof after that.
Oh,
fucking chewing the beans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll do it. I'll chew the beans.
Favorite app?
Yeah. A favorite app? Yeah, this Instagram. I like the stories. Oh,
that's so funny. I was thinking favorite app, like you were thinking like a freaking calamari app before the dinner table. Anyway, as you were saying, Instagram.
I like doing my stories.
You like your story guy.
In New York, you know, you always see something pretty or something tasty, something cool you want to share. So yeah, I like it. It's been good.
Instagram is the best way to share with your friends.
Yeah, I don't like doing posts anymore. What am I going to look back 2 years from now and be like, oh, there's a cool picture of a fountain.
But unless you're doing like a stand-up clip or something like that, right?
Then I'll do reels. But I don't post as much as other people do. I probably should post more. Then I'd have a career. But I don't post that much. I'm like, I'm so picky. Are you a picky guy?
I try and not be, man. Like I'll just focus on whatever we're about to post, put my heart and soul into it, and then post it, and then forget about it. That's like kind of what I'm being like,
and then walk away.
Yeah, dude. That's I think what we all need to do.
Probably
just post it and don't give a fuck about it.
I just started trying to record all my sets audio. Okay. And it's truly I'm the most self-conscious. I'm just like, God, I hate that the way that sounded, and it could be a good set, it could be a bad set. The same thing applies. I'm like,
a lot of us comics don't like listening back to it. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Or watching yourself. Oh God.
I like
it's
watching
torture.
better than hearing myself though. Like I much prefer the visual. Like here we have video on Spotify and also YouTube. So like on Apple Podcasts we don't, or Amazon Music, we just have audio. But I always will tell people to watch the YouTube or watch on Spotify just because you get a better idea of like what, like things don't sound awkward at all, or if they were maybe awkward, you'll notice that we're talking a certain way with our hands, so it's not actually awkward. You know, I think you get a lot more detail from visual.
It's so good to watch yourself. It really is. It's important. I just don't like doing it. It's just hard. I don't. You get self-conscious. You're like, who is that guy? He sucks. Oh, it's me. Me sucks.
You gotta get that stick with the iPhone holder in the back, man. That's what I've been doing. Or not the iPhone. I have a vlog cam that I just bring around, so I'll just stick it like
bring
kind
the
of in
vlog
the
cam
back.
for shows.
I bring it everywhere. I bring it everywhere, bro.
No.
You gotta,
Can't
dude.
do it.
Or just put your iPhone up in the back.
Imagine
good
watching
enough quality.
a bomb. Ooh, I don't know if I could do it.
Could be good. I'm sure that there's good stuff in the bomb though, dude. Like when you bomb, dude. Like when you bomb, you were not bombing for the entire set. Maybe you bombed for like a portion or like a portion of the joke.
That's a good thing to remember. You gotta stick through it because you might have something good in there. But yeah, it does feel like even if one joke doesn't land the way I wanted to, I'm mad at myself.
You gonna be traveling at all this coming winter for comedy?
Dude, I really just want to get settled into New York still. You know what I mean?
Well said.
I went to Chicago and Atlanta in October, at the end of September, and then early October for like a week of like shows. Like I opened for Chris Stefano in Chicago.
Dope.
And then I did Skullfest in Atlanta. It was so much fun, but I was like, I would rather be in New York, just like trying to get settled here. You know, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on for now.
I mean, I'm sure you're pretty close, man. It seems like you're meeting a lot of people who like are in the mix in New York, so that'll just help
Everybody's
you get
been
settled more.
so nice, man. Like I'm seriously very grateful. Everybody's been so sweet.
And when did you actually move here? What day?
Middle of August, dude.
So like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Almost 3 months.
It's
2.5 months.
about 3 months. Damn, dude.
Been a highlight for you? Any highlights?
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now.
There's been a few.
I've had a really few. Like, I got to follow Todd Barry, and I didn't bomb. That felt really good.
Where?
Caveat in Lower East Side, I think.
Tyler Perry showed up?
What?
You say Tyler Perry?
Todd Barry.
Oh my gosh! I thought you said Tyler Perry.
If I followed Tyler Perry, I think I would have. Well, I probably
would be good. And it's also an Atlanta thing. So he's an Atlanta guy, dude. You see that house he's building, by the way?
Is he building a house in Atlanta?
I
thought he lived in Los Angeles.
House. Like he might, but this house that he's building, I'll pop it up right here, dude. It costs I think $100 million to build.
Whoa!
It's just like on 100 acres in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, because like a lot of movies now are being made in Georgia just because like of tax reasons. So he's there all the time.
That makes a lot of sense. I bet a lot of people in movies and stuff probably have like a little timeshare in Atlanta or something.
Yeah. Tyler Perry's got a timeshare.
He does, I bet, dude. Well, maybe he like just kind of. Maybe he just has a time. He doesn't really share.
Yeah. He doesn't really need to share time.
He probably just has like a place that just kind of sits there, and then he goes down there and he
so your roommate is from Atlanta.
Yeah.
How do you know him?
He did kind of a DIY show in my hometown in Fort Wayne. So in Fort Wayne we have this comedy collective called Let's Comedy, and we would like I just did shows for them, but they would like book comedians from all over the country, and I we get to do the shows, and because I went around and did mics and tried to get better, I would sometimes get to do spots and open for these people way before I should have, but like still really nice. Like I got to open for Doug Stanhope and Ryan Posehn and all these people when I was starting out, and that was really, really nice. And like one of those, they invited, or Max like booked a show there when we were probably like 21, 22.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've known each other for ages, like 6 years easy.
And when you were being booked for those shows, was he reaching out to the Indiana Comedy Club and being like, who's good? Who should I throw on the show?
I don't even know if I was on the show. I think I just went there and we hang, and then we, I like stopped drinking. We both stopped drinking, but we like, I think we went out for a few beers afterwards.
Why'd you stop drinking?
Oh, it was an absolute mess. I relapsed the
Really?
other night, and I wish I hadn't. But yeah, I was. No, I'm absolutely not able to drink at all.
How many drinks did you have the other night, though?
Oh, I don't even want to know.
Really?
It was not good.
Damn.
But,
so you're just more of a smoking weed guy?
More of a smoking weed guy.
Me
yeah,
too, bro.
Yeah.
Me too. Like, I'll drink now probably once a month, and I'll have like 4 to 6 drinks, but like the next day, you betcha, I don't feel so good.
Oh, I can't.
And I'm
have
like,
any.
yeah.
But then it's.
Is it just like physical, you don't feel well, or is it like you don't want to know what you did with your friends the other night? You're like, oh my God, I must have been
Oh,
an
yeah.
idiot
No,
last
I
night.
just don't stop once I start.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have that.
Yeah, yeah. And so I've been, except for last night, I haven't had a drink in like a year. Or not last night, the other night. But I haven't had a drink in like a year. So
When did you first start smoking and drinking?
Oh, God. When I was like in high school. I was like 16. You're in Indiana. What the fuck else are you going to do, you know?
Yeah, what was that like, man? Like, were you guys going to the mall and stuff? Like, what were your friends doing?
Yeah, yeah. I guess it was like. Yeah, because you grew up in like New York, right?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you lucky guy.
Yeah, dude. So like, I was taking the subway by age 12. I was like
crazy.
coming home in cabs drunk when I was 15 or 16.
Really?
Yeah, man. So it was like a lot of growing up a little bit quicker than, you know, other people who lived in the suburbs.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, it's basically that. It's basically the suburb experience. Like, yeah, you just go like you sneak beers, or you like go to a person's house where the parents didn't care if you drank.
Did your parents like pick you up from the party though, at like 11 p.m. type?
No.
So how'd you get home?
Not at all. Another person who had a car would probably drive me home or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
crazy. I'd much rather have my
Yeah.
kid in the house drinking than rely on some like 17-year-old
Oh,
potential drunk
yeah.
driver, man. That's like,
Oh, God,
that's what
absolutely.
people will talk about the city sometimes, or they'll talk about Chicago. I don't want to grow. I don't want to raise a family here. It's
Yeah.
so dangerous. And then meanwhile, your kid is driving home 4 beers deep when he's like 16 years old. you
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
So it's all relative.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You do drugs in like a field. You
Yeah.
you were just drinking parking lots and Walmart.
How was your high school experience?
Oh, not fun. No, it just wasn't. It just was very boring. It was very like you had to drive everywhere. It just wasn't not good. No,
You guys have like a good sports team?
I don't even remember. I think we had a good football team.
Do you ever go to those football games? That was something that I, to be honest, like growing up in the city, I always kind of missed. Like my parents said that they would never let me play football, but I was dope as QB in recess. So I was like, oh, I always kind of want to go to one of those
you go
schools like
watch
in
football
Indiana or
games?
whatever. Yeah, I mean, I watched professional football, some college football. When I went to UConn, we had a great football team.
Oh, nice.
But in like middle school and high school, there was just no opportunity for me
Yeah.
living in the city to play football. You know, there was no fields in the city, so I played tennis and baseball. And then when I was 12 years old, I decided that I was going to play tennis seriously over
Yeah.
baseball, and then I played tennis at UConn. So it was like always kind of between tennis and baseball, and I played a little basketball, but like I was always very intrigued by the game of football.
So you guys just okay. So
Just there's no fields in the city. You know, like maybe if I were to play football, I would have had to go to like Queens, out in Long Island, maybe a deeper part of Brooklyn. But like,
Yeah.
as you see how many freaking buildings are up in Manhattan and even parts of Brooklyn, it's just that real estate for that football field is so valuable that it just makes sense to build high rises rather than to have a public park or something
Yeah.
like that. And I always like mention growing up in the city and playing tennis just because like I usually had to travel. Like you travel for mics, I'd travel 30 minutes into Long Island to play tennis just because
Yeah.
like in the city it doesn't make any sense. There's no courts readily available. Like being
Yeah.
in the suburbs, in every public park they would have 3 tennis courts.
Absolutely.
Nothing like that here. So it made it
Absolutely,
more
yeah.
difficult.
That's interesting. I never would have thought about that being like a
The
limiting
football
thing
the
here.
football thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
especially in Manhattan, man. Like
Really?
I don't think there's any. I mean, maybe in the Bronx, there's. I mean, definitely in the Bronx, there's more football fields. But in terms of Manhattan, maybe there's 1 or 2 fields, and I can't imagine how many high schools actually play on it. Maybe Stuyvesant High School, if you've heard of that, down by
Yeah.
World Trade Center, they have a football field. But besides
Really?
that, not any football fields.
Yeah, not a lot of football real estate, huh?
Yeah,
Is
man.
New York a big football city?
You mean like liking football teams
Yeah,
and
do you
stuff?
guys give a shit?
I mean, yeah, if we make the playoffs or Super Bowl, of course, because we're New York, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think we feel like a more Knicks, Rangers, Yankees, and Mets type. So like, oh, you know, almost all the sports, but like no, not the Islanders.
Who are the
Not really
Rangers?
the Nets. The New York Rangers are hockey. We
Hockey,
like hockey,
okay.
which is slightly random. But
I never would have thought of that.
I feel like a lot of Canadians kind of come down to the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, so that's why they root for the Rangers.
No kidding. I had no idea you guys were a hockey town.
Yeah,
I was in Tampa for the holidays, and that's a huge hockey town.
Oh yeah, the Lightning.
The Lightning,
yeah,
go Bolts.
Dude, yeah. So I mean, I think it's because hockey's played in Madison Square Garden. And that makes it a big deal, you know, being the world's famous arena. And
That's
then
interesting.
also basketball is played there. So maybe people who would have liked basketball are like, all right, well, the Rangers are also playing the next night. So let's go to a game like that. And the tickets are super expensive, which you can imagine.
And in Indiana, like, we're not really big on baseball because we just don't have a baseball team.
So what do you guys...
We have like
the Hoosiers,
like
though?
little teams. Like in Fort Wayne, we had like the Tin Caps, and they played downtown. And
what, hockey?
And now it's baseball.
The Tin Caps.
The Tin Caps.
What was that, double A, triple A?
Oh, quadruple A. I don't know.
MLB team. But you like the Hoosiers, Indiana Hoosiers?
Yeah. We like the Hoosiers. We like the Colts. And then the Pacers, especially in Indianapolis, you like the Pacers. And then in Fort Wayne, we like the Comets. That was our hockey team. So we got a good hockey team.
That's not professional, though.
Is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I thought we were.
The Comets? I don't know.
We're pretty disconnected.
They change names of teams here and there. Like the Washington football team. They used to be the Washington Redskins. Now they're just still the Washington football team because they can't think of a better name.
That's you know what? Fuck them. Stay the Washington football team.
Did you ever go to sports events, though, being in Indiana? That's something that you do for fun?
I mean, like, baseball games were pretty fun in Fort Wayne, but not really until I moved to Chicago. The stadiums are just so much more fun. Like, Wrigley Field is, it's a blast seeing a Cubs game there.
You go to any sporting events yet here?
Not yet, but I do want to. I'm excited.
First of all, the proximity to where you are in any of these stadiums is so close that, like, you got to go. And the U.S. Open is some of my favorite time of the year.
Really? Okay.
Super fun. Best 2 weeks of the year.
That's tennis, right?
Yeah. So that is, U.S. Open tennis. That's from like the end of August till about September 12th or 13th. So like super fun 2 weeks. And then they have a whole period right before the tournament, like 5 days where it's qualifying and it's just free. So you could walk around, get beers, get food.
Nice.
And chill. Yeah, man. Love tennis.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Nice. That'd be kind of sick to see.
Dope.
It'd be sick to see. Like a Knicks game.
Yeah, man. Oh, you got to go. All these great athletes up close. You're like, how do they move like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I heard. Okay, so how do you feel about the Nets? Is that kind of the young people thing?
Yeah, it might be a young people thing. It's people who also live in Brooklyn. I think the Brooklyn Nets. But I went to a Nets game. I don't know, like a few weeks ago. It's always fun. A little bit cheaper than Madison Square Garden.
That's good for
naturally,
me.
Yeah. And then the stadium is way newer, so it feels more young,
Barclays?
vibrant. Yeah, exactly. And that's where the Islanders, the hockey team, play.
Yeah. The Barclays is like right next to me.
Oh, dope.
Or right near me.
You have to
like
go.
I could probably do that. I've like taken the train there, and like I remember I transferred like trains there when there was a there's a big train station in Barclays now.
Yeah.
And there's a My Chemical Romance concert there. That was bananas.
What song do they sing again?
It's like all that.
Mr. Brightside. Not even imagine. That's like one of them, right?
That's like the Strokes or the Killers. Yeah,
Killers.
The My Chemical Romance is like very emo stuff. I saw a bunch of like scene.
Yeah, they have a lot of like rap concerts. They do have a lot of younger type concerts there. You see like a Nick Jonas, I think, do like a few shows there. And then Harry Styles was killing the Madison Square Garden scene. Ladies around the block for weeks, yeah.
Whoa, okay. Well, that'd be kind of cool to see Harry Styles at Madison MSG.
Hell yeah, brother!
Is that what everybody calls it here?
Yeah, dude. There you go. Now you're gonna get some
like
New York tips.
And be like MSG.
No, imagine who the fuck is this guy calling it MSG?
No, where are you from? Don't call it MSG. It's Madison.
Dude, imagine you started it though. You're like MSG. You're like, yo, this fucking comedian talking about MSG, brilliant. We're calling Madison Square Garden MSG now.
Well, you're supposed to call Manhattan the city, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yes, you got that.
You're not supposed to call it downtown.
No, bro. Unless you... No, actually, yeah, that's social suicide. Don't call it downtown.
What's another social suicide thing in New York?
Oh, bro. Calling it a bagel instead of a bagel, which I'm sure you don't call it a bagel. Exactly.
Who calls it a bagel?
That'd be social suicide.
That's awful. I would hate that. Don't call it a bagel.
Don't. You Jewish?
My grandpa is, but no.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I'm Jewish, so we appreciate the baggels or bagels.
I love
just
a
had
good
to ask.
bagel.
Yeah, bro, especially here in New York. You have one since you've been here?
I've had a lot of bagels since I've been in New York.
Okay, what's your
serious, they're
go-to?
So good. So I got this. I live in Crown Heights, so it's like half Hasidic, half Jamaican. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. So you go to like a pizza place that has jerk chicken, and then you
Beef
can go,
patties.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then you can go to a place with you go to. I got a Hasidic bakery, so I go there. I mean, they got good stuff. They got there's Lula Bagel. There's Barista in the Baker.
Favorite bagel, though? Your go-to order?
Man, I mean, I'm kind of a basic bitch. I just get like the everything.
Okay,
with cream.
good. I thought you were going to say plain. So everything bagel toasted with cream cheese?
Yeah, but dude, the
That's
other
not
day,
basic, though.
the other day I did something kind of gross that I'm probably gonna never have this again if I want to live past 35. I put bacon on it.
So you had the everything bagel toasted with cream cheese and bacon?
Yeah.
Bro, I feel like people do that all the time.
Ate
now.
it like a big old sandwich, and I was like, "This is gross." What I'm doing?
Oh, it didn't taste good?
No, it was delicious, but I was like,
hell
this
yeah,
is-
you're guilty
My heart
pleasure.
is punching through my chest. Like, don't do that again.
You know, people eat the
It's
bacon,
so
egg, and
good,
cheeses,
dude.
though, all the time.
They
And
do what now?
I used to
Bacon,
eat
egg, and cheese,
on an
beanie?
everything bagel. I used to eat that all the time,
Ooh,
too.
yeah. That
And then
does sound good as
afterwards, for like the next few hours, I would just not feel like myself at all. I would just feel super heavy and like greasy from that stuff. I'm a vegan, bro.
You're vegan?
So my bagel order now is limited. I get the everything bagel toasted with tofu, scallion, cream cheese, or tofu veggie.
I'm not vegan, but I'm very sympathetic. You guys are right. I get it. And then also, you guys figured out sweets.
We did.
Every time first of all, oat milk is the only milk I drink. It's the only milk I put in my coffee, my cereal, anything.
When did you change from that, by the way?
A
long as you can remember.
2 or 3 years ago, and ever since then I've been like, this is the best. Like,
Okay, what about the sweets?
in oh my god, dude, Chicago has this place, Chicago Diner, and the milkshakes are totally vegan.
Really?
And they're the balls. They're so good.
That it tastes.
They're the dates. I like the vegan wings they had, but the vegan milkshakes are just as good. And then in Fort Wayne, we had a vegan place where you get vegan ice cream. It tasted just as good. The vegan sweetener in the coffee, vegan cookies. You guys figured it out. You guys figured out sweets, period.
But
You haven't figured out cheese. You have no idea what to do with cheese.
you're right, dude. We
You have a
fuck-
place? I don't know. I don't know.
Dude. We haven't figured out cheese.
You
We
were
gotta
building
figure
up
out the
dramatic
cheese, bro. I
silence,
know.
Tay.
Look, I don't know.
I thought you were gonna tell me a good cheese hookup, but no, you just left me hanging, high and melted,
High and fucking dry.
just like your cheese,
Oh.
high and dry.
You know what, bro?
Keep that in the pod.
We're cutting
High
that,
and
bro.
dry.
Imagine.
Damn
I'm
it.
like, this guy's...
Damn, I had a good cheese riff. Fuck.
Dude, you bring that up on stage next time. You're like, so, vegans and their fucking cheese.
Makes me
Shit
sick.
everywhere.
No, but I like.
Nice, man. Yeah, we got to figure out cheese.
You gotta figure out cheese.
Because also,
you will.
because people who are allergic to nuts, that's what we have an issue with the cheese. The cashew cheese.
Yeah.
A lot of nuts are involved in
Well,
being
like
a
oat
vegan.
milk. Yeah, I think if you got nut allergies, that makes it tricky. And that's so sad.
Like the
'cause
almond milk.
Oat milk is so good, dude.
Well, I think oat milk is fine. It's not really nut related for people who don't like nuts.
I guess I don't understand nut allergies.
I
Is
made
it
that
like,
same mistake the other day, bro.
Is it like
I was
where
"You
the
can't
nut
have oat
comes
milk?"
from?
No, I think it's just in general. Anything with nuts. So like cashew cheese, almond milk,
but not oat
freaking
milk.
peanut butter. Not oat milk because it's made of oats.
Is
which
oat
isn't
not
a
a
nut.
nut?
No, I don't think, no.
Oh wow.
Just like, well, oats, like Quaker oats. That's just a nut. What is?
Yeah, I guess that's not a nut.
Yeah, but what is oats?
Technically,
What
peanut's
are
not a nut.
oats?
A peanut's a legume.
No, but a peanut's definitely a nut, dude.
It's a
called
legume.
nut.
Dude. Look it up.
There's no way a peanut's not a nut, Adam.
Legume.
It's not, peanut's not a nut?
No, it's a
All right,
legume.
pop it up right here. I hope
Look it
you're
up,
wrong.
pop it up, dude.
You might be right.
Yeah, dude. Peanut's
Adam,
not
this
a
has
nut.
been great, man.
Yeah.
So what do you got looking forward to at the end of 2022 as we come to wrapping up this episode, man? This has been great.
Bro, I don't know, man. Shows here and there, and then I'm gonna go hang with my mom for Christmas in Tucson.
Let's
Arizona.
go. Oh, bro, I spent some time actually in Tucson
Dude,
at
it's
Best
so
Western.
nice.
Yeah, why is it so nice? People don't know about it. People talk a lot of shit about
It's
Tucson.
so toasty out all the time.
Toasty.
My mom lives near like the mountains. We go hike up some mountains. Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be a good time. I wish I had like more stuff to plug, but
Well, right now, bro, plug your IG and plug where we can see you next besides the next Ted Jones comedy show that we have in January.
Adam G Comedy and
We're popping it up, bro.
what?
We're popping up Adam G Comedy right
Adam
here.
G Comedy.
Here it is. You want to
right
hold
there.
it?
Yeah, I
All
want
right,
to hold
hold it
my
nicely.
Instagram. This is my Instagram right here. And I'm gonna post lots of stories of any snacks I have. You know? So you can have some of that. And there'll be show posters too. So check Adam G Comedy where if this is right here.
Yes.
Cool. So check that for shows and snacks and cool things I've seen, cool dogs, all that.
Absolutely. Adam Gilbert, you're
Yeah.
the freaking man, dude.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
And guys, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. Follow
Yeah.
this kid. He's freaking hilarious
Ah.
on his journey. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hell yeah.